How's it going, everybody? I am doing the first of what is going to become a series of YouTube videos. Today, I'm going to have a look at what I get a lot of questions about on the stream, which is at Twitch TV / SakeVision. The question I get a lot is, tell us about what kind of gear you have, what kind of spec you have on your trooper. I've recently been able to put together a fairly decent PvP set. Of course, I have other characters that I'm starting to pay attention to, but I got this character to max level relatively quickly so we could start doing in-game content. One of the best ways, however, to get great gear really quickly is to focus on PvP. So, although I am not a coveted level 60 plus in Valor, which looks like I'm rank 44 at the moment, which enables you to get a couple of extra nice things like Battle Master gear. I have been able to put together a good load of champion gear, and the way that you do that is that you get these bags from your weeklies, from your dailies, and you can purchase them as well with 200 Merc credits, 200 Warzone credits from a vendor. You open these bags, you get a chance to get a piece of Battle Master gear. I'm sorry, when you're below level 60 in Valor, you get a chance at getting champion gear. So I'm going to review some of the gear that I've gotten, but first I'm going to tell you about what Osaki is here, other than apparently lazy in his off hours. Although being well attended to by a Lara Dorn personal healer. So this is a Gunnery Commando, and a Gunnery Commando, I call it a Gunnery Commando because of the Gunnery tree. And what a Gunnery tree basically affords you by the time you get to the top is this very lethal piece of damage known as the Demolition Round. Now, the Demolition Round gets increase to damage whenever there is a gravity vortex on your target. A gravity vortex is put on your target by using gravity round, and if you spec into it in the tree, each gravity round will put 2 gravity vortexes onto your target. So what I like to do if I'm in PvP is to roll up on somebody, shoot 2 gravity rounds, which puts 4 vortexes on them. Now they can stack up to 5 times, so you could go for a 3rd gravity round. I like to do 2, get it 20%, and then shoot my demolition round off. That also sets up a situation where things like my high impact bolt and other things that are benefited in this tree, like my full auto feature, become highly effective. I also have skipped over a few things in this tree. For example, the bonuses to healing, and here's something that has to do with just basically making things cheaper for me to spend. And maybe at some point I'll go into great detail about the theory behind why I spec the way I did. But I did a few things like make sure that I got endurance over in this assault specialist tree, increased my alacrity. Not that that does a ton, but it's the only alacrity I have, and the way BioWare has explained it. The more diversified your attributes, the greatest benefit you get to your character overall. Now, I'm not a deep theory crafter, so I'm not going to be able to spout out statistics about whether or not that's better than something else I could have spec'd into. It's just what I'm doing. I like to play my characters by feel, and it feels good the way I have this guy set up right now. I've also gone with increased crit chance because crit is nice, and we're going to see that a little bit when we look at gear. So again, back to gear. You might notice that I pretty well have purples across the board here, with the exception of relics, which I'm going to get into in a moment. You can go through and buy some level 50 blue stuff that's going to get you by to fill in a lot of these spots. Bracers, implants, and headpieces are all going to be very eligible slots to fill with these blue pieces, but I've managed to replace everything. Now, in some cases, for example, I got out of a bag a champion implant. So I put that in, but I had to go buy a Centurion implant. And what happens is when you open those bags up, I'm preaching to the choir here quite a bit on some of this stuff, but whenever you open these bags that I referred to earlier up, you're going to get these commendations, these Centurion commendations. And what it takes to buy these bags is 200 mercenary commendations, 200 warzone commendations, or you get them as rewards for weeklies or dailies, like I said earlier. So anyway, the pieces that I've gotten that were inside of the bags were Champion, and that would include this earpiece, this implant. I also got some bracers. I was very lucky. The very first bag that I opened had my weapon in it, which was pretty awesome. I got my boots. Let's see. I got my chest and my helm. Now, a little cautionary tale. I was checking out to see what the medic helm looked like on my character, and guess what? I bought it. I had the token for it in my bag, and I thought I was pressing the right combination of buttons, but you know what? If you slip up, if you don't do exactly the right button combination, you're going to possibly buy that piece and you're not going to be able to return it. So I ended up with the elephant helm, as I've noticed my buddies and I refer to it as. But you know what? It works for me. Whatever. I got the elephant helm. However, you can see that down here at the bottom part of the description where it says Battle Master Combat Medic Gear, I have 1 piece out of 5, and that's not going to count towards my set bonus for anything else, which kind of sucks. But also, in another way, it doesn't really matter, because I've gone ahead and got my set bonus for the Eliminator set. Now, there's also another set that looks different that has the same stats, and it's called something like the Power Tech. I joke about it being the Power Ranger set because it's got an orange thing right across the front, so go Power Rangers. Anyway, the set that I picked up, the bonuses are, if you get the 2-piece, reduces your cooldown of your concussion charge by 5 seconds. Now, concussion charge is that blast that when you spec into it throws people back quite a ways and also gives them a temporary slow. So for this setup, it is a fantastic thing to have. I love it. I love it. I love it. And having it at 15 seconds rather than 20 seconds makes me an absolute nuisance in battlegrounds, especially if I'm running along and protecting the Hutball guy, or if we're on that bridge in Void Star, or again in Hutball when we're up, on the 3-dimensional somewhere and I blast everybody away. Alderaan, not so helpful except just to get people away from the point. But anyway, one of my favorite abilities. So that set bonus, awesome. Now, the 4-piece set bonus, it's pretty good, but what it is that I get a 15% critical chance to my high impact bolt. Now, my high impact bolt does a lot of damage. It's not quite as good as Demolition Round, and I don't even like it as much as Gravity Round, because the thing is that I have to have my Gravity Vortexes up and then cast that high impact bolt. Now, if I don't do that, it doesn't make me feel so good about even trying to cast it. So it ends up being something that I use infrequently. So here, I think I figured out something that I want to do. Last night, I ended up getting a piece of equipment, this right here. The Calamai Eliminator Boots. Now, the other stuff is the Champion Eliminator stuff that I'm wearing, right? But if you look down, ignore this other stuff on the left. Look down to what is the set bonus for the Eliminator Boots. The 2-piece set bonus is, now, what do I spy here? Ooh, 15% critical increase to Gravity Round. Now we're talking. So I'm thinking that probably my next step, I'm not thinking, I know my next step is going to be to get a 2nd piece of Calamai gear so I can get the 2-piece set bonus for the PvE stuff. The Calamai stuff is PvE stuff that you get from operations and from hard mode flashpoints. Still the basic stuff, but that set bonus is going to be awesome. And if you remember what I was saying about how Gravity Round is applied, I'm going to get a 15 additional crit chance on that. Now, that's pretty awesome, because check this out, gravity round and demolition round, they will crit at least up to this point for up to like 3,300 damage. I believe I've seen my own. I know that I've had it recorded that I have 3,200 damage, and that's without the 3 or 4 pieces that I've upgraded just in the last day. So this could be very exciting for me. So that'll be something I'll let you guys know about the effectiveness of that. So let me get back to these relics. I actually do have 2 of the other relics. I have these Columni relics, and you know what? They have great bonuses, and I put them on whenever we're doing something PvE. But for PvP, you would think, you know, these level 50 purples are going to blow the other ones out of the water. I'm going to want to equip those. Wrong. First of all, it's nice to have something that you can proc every now and then, but they share a cooldown, so you're only going to be able to do one every 2 minutes or whatever it is. Secondly, these level 44 green ones, which I'm able to wear because I'm light 4 or better, they have 35 endurance apiece on them. And there's no way I am giving up 70 endurance to go to these Columni relics. So never mind those things. That's why I still have a couple of greens here. Now, I could be wrong. There might be other stuff out there. I mean, I know there are world drops that are going to be, I'm sorry, not world drops, but drops that are going to be from bosses and stuff that are going to potentially help me out more than that. But for the time being, that's what I got that's going to work. And so that's what I'm going to do. I believe you can, take crystals and craft some better relics and that sort of thing. So not going into that right now. Anyway, that is the status of the Gunnery Commando. Let's see, what else do I have for you here today? I wanted to throw out a congratulations to Blue Rancor, the guild in which I have this particular tune, for a excellent showing at Eternity Vault last night. There were a lot of people, including myself, that had never even gone to Eternity Vault. I've been working on other things, and we did a nice full clear pretty quickly and had enough time to go on and do other stuff, which is where I come to actually some very sad news. It's about one of our own. We actually had to deal with an internal situation that was quite sad. Unfortunately, one of our brothers had been corrupted by a hut and taken in and enslaved. I mean, let's call it what it was. But just twisted his mind to where we really couldn't do anything else but put him down. So we had to go over to the hut's palace and unfortunately deal with and eliminate one of our brothers. It was very difficult. So I hope you all can take a moment of silence and for our buddy that we had to put down. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this segment. There's going to be more to come. Don't forget to follow this YouTube channel, and I will see you in game.